After many years, Tony Stark Iron Man falls victim to his own substance abuse. During this downward spiral, Iron Man resident's lab is blown up and suffers many injuries. Iron Man's neighbor Moriel Marcus is wiped out in the explosion. Later, Riri Williams confirms Stark reactor is at fault. Tony, full of sadness, and pays all the expenses of her funeral. Later, Tony is attacked by a nameless messenger. Iron Man was about to wipe him out, but at the last moment decided to unveil the culprit. Inside was an innocent man abducted and placed inside the suit. Iron Man rushed him to the hospital and saves his life. Iron Man saved by Ironheart. During one of Iron Man Tony Stark's substance abuse meetings, he was poisoned. Passing out in the street, Ironheart comes to Tony Stark's rescue. After Tony Stark is taken back to his lair, news reports come in about an attack on the old Avengers mansion. Iron Man and Ironheart go to intercept. The living laser begins to overwhelm Iron Man. On the verge of defeat, Ironheart steps in and using the power of the 10 rings saves Iron Man's life. Please like and subscribe. Did you know Iron Man fought Iron Man? After the passing of Zhong Wei, Tony Stark Iron Man seeks revenge. Both Iron Man and War Machine travel to Stark Unlimited. Inside they find another Iron Man. The second Iron Man begins to fight Tony and War Machine. Later, it's revealed to be a life model decoy. Please like and subscribe. Iron Man gets revenge. Fei Long took over Iron Man's company Stark Unlimited after orchestrating the demise of Zhong Wei, Tony Stark's close friend. Tony, wanting revenge, met Fei Long and Nimrod at the Wall Street Bell. Tony challenged Fei Long to a battle outside. After a ton of trash talk, Iron Man shuts down Fei Long's suit. Fei Long was bested by Iron Man. Tony, knowing he won't truly back down and confess to his crimes, leaves to find another more permanent solution.
Iron Man tortured by Fei Long. After taking over Stark Unlimited, Fei Long retrieves Tony's secret inheritance left by his father Howard Stark. Howard Stark left behind the beginning of a film containing the beginning of a new cutting-edge project that would introduce a new metal never discovered before. Iron Man travels to Fei Long's base operation and discovers the newest Sentinel infused with Stark tech. Tony Stark is then blasted with a laser from behind by a crowd control weapon by Fei Long. A garbage can in hand, Fei Long tells Tony how he just destroyed his inheritance. Fei Long even brings Tony to his Iron Man suit, followed by a blast from his mouth. Fei Long then activates the Stark Sentinel and commands it to target Iron Man. Iron Man, knowing he is no match, flees for his life. Iron Man's Silver Centurion suit takes on X-Men Emma Frost. In the aftermath of Magneto's attacks, the government has been developing telepathy weapons. Like Magneto's helmet, the PSI blockers render a mind control powers useless. Hazel Kendall infiltrated Stark Enterprises and almost stole the prototypes. The blocker. Iron Man was sent by General Dinger to deliver the device to Nick Fury. Tony, using the device, realized it was actually Emma Frost using her telepathy. Emma Frost, using her power, takes control of known Spider-Man villains and makes them fight Iron Man. After a final blow to Iron Man's helmet from Doc Ock, the device is disabled, allowing for Emma Frost to enter Tony Stark's mind and make him forget about the whole incident.
After Fei Long took over Stark Unlimited, and with the help of Nimrod, he began creating Stark Sentinels. Tony, learning the truth, infiltrated Fei Long's Sentinel factory with War Machine. Using Rhodey as a decoy, Iron Man began placing explosives on all the Sentinels. The Sentinels caught on and began fighting Iron Man and War Machine. While switching suits, Rhodey is caught and arrested by the Stark Sentinels. Nimrod destroys one of the factory workers and frames War Machine. Rhodey is now in jail, and She-Hulk can't get him out. After seeing Krakoa attack DC on the news, he heads out to investigate. While on his way, Iron Man receives a broadcast that Captain America is being attacked. Iron Man intercepts both Captain America and Rug. Going back to his first mission, he arrives at the Capitol in time to witness a Stark Sentinel destroying a building to get to Emma Frost. Iron Man shuts down the Sentinel, but is sideswiped by another. Iron Man gives Emma Frost a chance to escape by taking on 3 Sentinels, however, he is no match. Emma Frost returns back to help Iron Man, and doing so is caught. Tony Stark, surrendering, allows for his Iron Man suit to take Emma Frost and escape. After Tony Stark surrendered to Fei Long, he was released, because even Fei Long can't destroy an Avenger in the streets without repercussions. Tony then tracks down Emma Frost to the Morlock tunnels. Both at low points, they decide to work together, and Tony leaves to complete a plan. After removing the PSI blocker technology from the Iron Man suit, Tony smashes it through the front window of Stark Unlimited and issues Fei Long another warning. Tony, returning to Emma, presents her with a ring containing the PSI technology that will allow her to go unnoticed from law enforcement. Together, Tony and Emma leave the Morlock tunnels. They arrive and seek out the White King, Kingpin. Iron Man finally gets Mysterium. Tony Stark and Emma Frost have arranged a fake wedding in hopes that Fei Long will crash the wedding. While on their way to Las Vegas, Tony asked Emma to get rid of the X-Men necklace around her neck. Emma replies she will before the wedding, but it was given to her by the mutant forge. Just as planned, Fei Long crashes the wedding. While there, Emma takes off her inhibitor ring, allowing for both Tony and Emma to enter Fei Long's mind. While inside his mind, Tony sees the message left behind by Howard Stark and Emma, makes Fei Long forget they ever entered his mind. After leaving the wedding, Emma hands Tony her necklace and reveals the necklace is Mysterium, the rare metal he has been looking for. Avengers versus Mysterium. During Tony Stark Iron Man and Emma Frost honeymoon, Tony sneaks on the island of Krakoa in hopes to find Emma's stash of Mysterium. When Tony arrives, he is met by 7 Stark Sentinels, but since Tony is using his nil suit of armor, he is able to sneak on the island undetected. He still has to use caution because Orcus has foot soldiers on the ground, including an ape with multiple PhDs. Tony gets inside Emma's closet but is caught by the ape. After the battle, Tony is able to leave the island with Mysterium in hand. He decides to test the metal before making a new suit with it. He goes to Avenger Captain Marvel and she gives all her effort but can't even bend it a little bit. Next, Tony asks Doctor Strange to use his magic on it. Strange gives it his all but the metal remains intact. Finally, Tony visits Spider-Man and hits Spider-Man's shin and Spider-Man's Spidey sense doesn't go off. Emma Frost versus the Iron Heart and the 10 Rings. While Tony Stark Iron Man is working out of his secret lab located in the Hellfire Club, he is visited by Riri Williams, who is currently in possession of the 10 Rings. While Riri is attempting to access Tony, she is met at the front door by Emma Frost, an Omega-level telepath. Emma Frost is in disguise as Ms. Kendall refuses to allow Riri to see Tony. Riri decides it would be far easier to just take over Ms. Kendall's mind using the Mento Intensifier ring. Ms. Kendall's red triangle psychic defense kicked in to resist Riri, then she removed her inhibitor ring, revealing Ms. Kendall is actually Emma Frost. Riri, stunned to see Emma, didn't know if Emma was friend or foe, and took over Tony Stark mind. Despite Emma winning the mental battle, understands that Stark Sentinels will soon be approaching as she has removed her inhibitor ring. Calling a ceasefire, they both retire to their own minds. Iron Man versus Space Pirates. Tony Stark and Emma Frost used the Skrulls as body doubles, so the Skrulls could remain on Earth and impersonate both Tony and Emma. Tony and Emma have left to recover Mysterium in space. Arriving on Game World, both Tony and Emma are planning to steal the Mysterium. However, when Tony and Emma enter the secured area, there is already a heist in progress from Space Pirates and Game World security. Both Iron Man and Emma Frost, taking her diamond form, begin to fight both groups. Using his chest blaster, Iron Man lets off a blast on Emma Frost's body. Emma Frost, using her diamond form, redirects the blast and takes out all the Space Pirates. They take the vault full of Mysterium. Magneto versus Iron Man. After many years full of regrets, Tony Stark has recurring nightmares of an apocalypse dystopia where Magneto beats and destroys him over and over by dismantling the Iron Man suit he is wearing and bending the metal into a spear and sending it through his chest. Adamantium versus Mysterium. While Tony Stark was at the Hellfire Club, a Sentinel assassin created from Wolverine's corpse full of adamantium attacked Tony. Emma Frost, coming to his rescue, gives Tony Stark a moment to put on his new Mark 72 Mysterium armor suit. The Wolverine Sentinel goes to attacking the belly of the new Iron Man suit, but is unable to pierce the Mysterium, bending the adamantium claws. Iron Man then crushes Wolverine's head. After Fei Long took over Stark Unlimited, he began creating Stark Sentinels. Iron Man sent Riri Williams with Mysterium to Nidavellir, home of the Smiths of Asgard that created Thor's hammer. Forge, the mutant that creates all the technology for the X-Men, helped Riri create ships out of the Mysterium. After the ships landed on Earth, Fei Long realized they're not ships but actually pieces to a new suit for Tony Stark, the Sentinel Buster armor. Sentinel Buster armor suit versus Stark Sentinels. The full Mark 73 Sentinel Buster armor suit made from Mysterium takes on almost the entire fleet of the Stark Sentinels. The Stark Sentinels are no match, as the Mark 73 tears the Sentinels to pieces and blasts them into bits. The Mark 73 can even take a blast no problem from Fei Long's private Stark War Machine Sentinel. The Mark 73 was only capable of taking out half the Stark Sentinel fleet before Fei Long destroyed its power source, stopping the Sentinel Buster armor. Magneto saves Iron Man. Fei Long crippled the Mark 73 Sentinel Buster armor while surrounded by Stark Sentinels. Tony goes to restart the suit's reactor, but is attacked by Fei Long. After exchanging crushing blows, Fei Long confessed that he is no longer in control of the Stark Sentinels. Omega-level mutant Magneto comes to rescue Tony. Magneto versus Nimrod. After rescuing Iron Man, Magneto uses his power to bend Mysterium around Nimrod's body. Then Magneto fashions a spear made of Mysterium and sends it through Nimrod's chest. Iron Man grabs hold of the spear and zaps Nimrod with more pure energy than any Iron Man suit has ever discharged before. Not defeated, Magneto uses the Mysterium and crushes Nimrod's body. Fei Long defeated, Tony Stark throws him into a coffin and transports him to a Rocco on Mars. On Mars, Fei Long is held in a secret prison designed by Tony Stark. Fei Long blasts Tony Stark's suit, but it does nothing as the prison is designed for him specifically. Fei Long's only possible way out is atonement for his crimes. Tony Stark went broke after spending his entire fortune to buy back all his weapons. While Tony Stark was married to Emma Frost, she gifted him billions of dollars. Emma got this money from using her power for insider trading in the stock market. Tony used that money to purchase an airstrip in the West Coast and form a new team.